UVLT was at the forefront of recognizing the need to stem the loss of important agricultural soils to overdevelopment and has worked energetically for more than 30 years to make sure that rich bottomland and productive, beautiful hill farms are protected and available for food production for years to come. Several of the farms that are thriving now are growing their food on UVLT conserved farmland. It's the positive word of mouth from someone who has gone before that makes all the difference. I think that our farmers are some of our best references.
I made a commitment to my grandmother before she died to try to preserve the farm as best I could and keep it in the family for as long as I could. And she said she trusted me to make the right decision. So as we kind of thought through, what do we do? It seemed like the first step was to conserve the farm to make sure it remains a farm forever. And I think it was important to us, from our family heritage to keep the land as a farm because generations of our family loved the land and took good care of it and were good stewards, and we want to make sure that continues. So we think that conserving farmland, particularly in this part of the country, is going to become more and more important as more of our food production is going to migrate to the northeast because of climate change. Anything I think that we can do to conserve existing farmland to help ensure that secure our food supply in the future is really important. Forest and farmland in New Hampshire is being developed every year, and it seems to me it's about 5,000 acres is lost every year to development. We can't afford to keep doing that. We really need to protect as much of the farm and forest land as we can for future generations.
My wife and I definitely believe strongly in the ethos that some land needs to be protected and needs to be conserved for the future. I mean, obviously farmers are farming for a whole bunch of different reasons, but certainly that attachment to land, is a big part of it. Both in the short term and the long term, I know that this soil is going to be here and it's going to be available for agriculture. There was definitely an economic incentive for us to do it. We went the route of donating the development rights, and we received an income tax deduction for that value that we were able to use over a bunch of years. For larger farms that are more significant too, you can get paid to conserve it. As believers in sort of the local movement, it's fun to have our own local land trust here. We knew what it was, we knew we wanted to do it, and we just needed someone to do it with.
So to me, when we conserved our land, it's our last time we reach out from the grave and say, no, you can't do that. So no, they cannot sell to the highest bidder who wants to develop it. I wanted to control what happens here. It may not quite be the working farm it is now. If somebody else takes over, they might do different things. It might be a gentleman farmer who just mows the whole thing, but it'll still be open. So that's important to me to know that as I'm on my deathbed, I can say yes. I just want to keep it open forever. Yep. People often say to me around this community, they like the fact that it's open, it's being farmed. They appreciate what it looks like. They thank me for what I'm doing. That's pretty high praise when you got the community just thanking you for just doing what you're doing.
The benefits really would be the security you get. Not so much security about yourself, but about your neighbors. Having conserved land in our surrounding area, including us, is reassuring. This is a pretty exciting area, or special area to live in, and to see it kind of being sustained by conservation is just wonderful.
My mom at one point called me when I was in college and she says, I just had a guy offer me $1 million for the other side of the interstate. We were big believers that it shouldn't be developed. It's been nothing but farmland and nothing but hazen farmland since the 1700s. It's allowed it to stay a farm. Mm-hmm. If we had not conserved the land, it would have been developed by now. We had to get town approval. The land trust wouldn't do it if the town didn't say that it was something that fit into their plans. I just went to meetings and kept drilling in the history of it. I have never heard anybody say they wish they hadn't. So I think they are doing a lot to
involved in conservation. I think probably the biggest is that they think they're going to give up control of the land. But they don't. It's a love of the land, love of the animals.
It's in our name, you know, it's trust. Like, we're the Upper Valley Land Trusts, and this process takes a lot of trust. So it's just sort of getting to know people and building that trust with them. You know, and to do that, I put on my muck boots and I tromp around in the barn and I get looked at by cows. There is a future of farming because of